On February 2026, the night sky over the Middle East filled with the exhaust trails of a massive multi-front missile exchange. The war opened with a series of high-profile lethal strikes, most notably the targeted killing of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. But the human toll quickly cut both ways. 7 U.S. service members were killed in action during the opening days of the conflict. Their remains returned to American soil during dignified transfers at Dover Air Force Base. Militarily, the Allied offensive has been highly effective. U.S. and Israeli forces rapidly destroyed 60% of Iran's missile launchers, executing strikes across roughly 3,400 separate targets. Yet despite this absolute military superiority and the systematic dismantling of Iranian launch sites, the United States is bleeding money and hardware at an alarming rate. In just the first 10 days of this conflict, the U.S. has spent and lost a combined $10.35 billion. This chart shows the daily accumulation of those expenses. You can see a rapid climbing trend where operations and munitions alone are costing the U.S. military over $1 billion every single day. And that doesn't include the hardware. An additional $2.55 billion in U.S. military equipment has already been damaged or completely destroyed by Iranian counterattacks. This has evolved from a series of tactical surgical strikes into a war of economic attrition, and the U.S. spreadsheet is taking massive hits. The backbone of the U.S. defense in the region relies on massive, highly expensive static systems, like THAAD batteries. THAAD stands for Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, which is a sophisticated anti-ballistic missile system. But these expensive platforms are taking catastrophic losses. In the opening days, an Iranian missile destroyed a $1.1 billion U.S. early warning radar system in Qatar, and another strike took out a $500 million radar component in the United Arab Emirates. This vulnerability extends straight to the command infrastructure. Iranian strikes wiped out key SATCOM, or satellite communications, terminals at the heart of U.S. naval operations in Bahrain. These radar systems are tuned specifically to track high-altitude ballistic missiles entering from space, creating a cone of visibility that effectively ignores objects moving close to the ground. The U.S. military essentially built a billion-dollar roof to protect its forces from above, but left the front door wide open. Iran is exploiting that ground-level blind spot, using slow, low-flying Shahed drones. The mathematics of this asymmetric warfare strongly favor the attacker. A single Iranian Shahed drone costs $20,000, while the American radar it targets costs $500 million. With that extreme price difference, shooting down 9 out of 10 incoming drones doesn't matter. If just one slips through, Iran wins the economic trade. Now Iran is expanding this low-cost, high-damage strategy beyond military bases, using these drones to hit regional civilian infrastructure, like a vital water desalination plant in Bahrain. Warfare has entered a phase where mass-produced, expendable technology can reliably neutralize some of the world's most advanced military platforms. So what exactly is the geopolitical prize the U.S. and Israel are trying to buy for $1 billion a day? Israeli and U.S. officials have articulated a specific, ultimate objective: the total collapse of the current regime in Tehran and the installation of a transitional government. Standing in the way of that goal is a volatile new leadership dynamic. Following his father's death, Mojtaba Khamenei has quietly taken over the role of supreme leader. The commitment to removing this leadership is open-ended. President Trump has explicitly stated there is no timetable for the war, telling reporters the U.S. will do whatever it takes. This is a protracted, open-ended siege designed to destabilize a nation from the inside out, regardless of how long it takes to achieve. But zooming out from the Middle East, the immediate collateral damage of this siege is hitting the broader global economy. We're seeing a severe spike across energy markets, with WTI and Brent crude surging to their highest levels in years. This price surge specifically threatens global superpowers like China, a nation that relies almost entirely on Persian Gulf oil. The domino effect is straightforward. A prolonged war guarantees sustained high fuel prices, which chokes global supply chains and risks triggering a worldwide energy crisis. Modern warfare has become a global economic stress test. The real limit of this campaign depends on how much damage the global economy can absorb before reaching a breaking point.